So, what is Inderes? I think many people in this room have never heard about us, but I think soon you might wonder why you have not heard about us. So we're two things, if you think of us as an investor. First thing is that we are a free information service for investors. So Inderes.se is a service where you can read about over 400 Nordic listed companies, and we operate that. And then we're also a listed company that is built around serving investors and connecting listed companies and investors. So I'm going to give you these two angles today. Why do we exist? So why does Inderes exist? So we are here to democratize Nordic investor information by connecting investors and companies. And I'm going to make that more concrete. That might sound a little bit fuzzy right now. But the big picture is that we want every investor, every private investor to be on the same level playing field as the institutions who have for a long time had better access to company information, to research, and maybe, overall they've been served a bit better. But our mission and why we exist is that we want to change that. So equity research, so aktieanalys, that's what we started from. And it was the first place where we started democratizing investor information. And for a long time, investment research, it was only available to institutions. And within banks, it was often part of their business to serve their internal functions like asset management, stock brokerage, and corporate finance. And the way we started doing equity research was that we made it available to everyone. So we started writing research, and we let everybody access to it for free. And we started building a platform where investors can read about companies. So what is this platform? So Inderes.se is where you can find us. Here you can find equity research on over 150 companies listed in Nordics. You can find quarterly earnings webcasts and audiocasts on over 300 companies, and many other pieces of information. So if you want to see what is the price per earnings figure for a company, so that's of course part of the equity research. And then also our platform has a forum where our analysts are talking to investors every day. So sometimes you might see an equity research report published, but it's tough to talk to the analyst. With us, you can come and talk to us on our forum, which is open to everyone. Where does Inderes name come from? So it comes from independent equity research, oberoende aktieanalys. And we started this business on the whole foundation that we want to be independent, give out the views that we think are the real views of the company and not just give a buy rating on every company. But there's a conflict there. We do commissioned research, so the companies pay us to do the research. Can this be independent? Yeah, so you heard that our name comes from independent equity research, so we're really founded around it. But also in our values, we state that we may lose customers because we give critical evaluations of them. So really the customer that we serve is the investor. That's the one we can never fail. We always need to be honest and truthful in our work. Otherwise, we wouldn't be independent. And also, the way we think of our business, I'll highlight the longevity. So we think long term. Many companies have in their kind of code that they need to make money for shareholders. But our priority order, we actually change it in our corporate code, is that we serve stakeholders in the order. First, our staff, people who work at Inderes, because they are the ones who create the content for investors. Second part is community, so the investors. So those are the second most important because, of course, without investors, we don't have customers. And then only after that come the customers, the companies. And then finally, if we do all these things well, then we believe it should be beneficial for the shareholder. But our whole mindset is built around in a very different way than I guess many other companies are. And how have we done? So we have a model portfolio that invests real money. And over some 12 years, it has returned 600% versus the comparison index returning 150%. And this is based on our equity research. The chart looks very linear. It is not that linear. There are ups and downs. I must highlight that. And it's not always easy in the stock market. You all know it. It's tough to do well. But over the long period, I think we have shown that the research we do can be used to make more returns than the index. And also our team has been receiving many awards. So Starmline has published this analyst rating, or used to publish it until 2020. And every year we had 3 to 6 people on the top 10 analyst list in the Nordics. So 2020, 6 of the best 10 analysts in the Nordics came from Inderes. Of course, independence and doing work well, it needs to be proved every day, and we must never slip from it. But historically, I think we've at least done very well on this, and I think everyone at this company also wants to do so in the future. So our equity research, how does it work? So we have built it in a way that we go very deep into the company. So we write 30 to 50-page reports where you have everything on the company, what they do, how does their cost structure work, what is their strategy, what are the markets, are the markets growing, how is the competitive landscape, what estimates can we make based on this, what is the valuation. So we go really deep in the company. And then we start going to more simple pieces. So we update our research multiple times a year, shorter reports. And whenever there's a news piece that matters to the company, we write a comment about it. So if a company that I cover, so I'm an equity analyst myself, if they were to put out a press release now that was important for investors, I would have it comment out on it before the stock market opens tomorrow. So we're also very active. We make sure that investors have accurate information when they can still use it. It doesn't help if I comment it 2 weeks after the stock has done something in between. So you want it right away. And then we go even more simple. So we do video interviews. We have former journalists and working in the team who interview our analysts. So not everybody is going to read the big research report, but you might want something more simple. So we also do videos where we explain why we why we think of a company in a certain way, or where we explain the company. And then what I mentioned before is that you can actually reach us and talk to us. We have analysts here in the room today, but we are also available to you on our forum. So a big part of our work is spending time with investors and talking to investors. And you can always criticize what we write and join the conversation. So we are not just publishing a report and hiding somewhere, but we are out there, and you can come talk to us. And it's part of our model as well, that we are kind of with you, investors, talking about the companies and trying to figure out if they're good investments and at what price. And then, of course, you can find us in social media. We also publish many things there. But we have everything for investors who are just starting, those people who are a bit more into the details of company, and all the way to very professional investors, which I know also are in the private investor space. So what has Inderes become as a company? So I explained to you that we do equity research and how we did that. But today we are quite a few other things as well. So we are 120 people, roughly. Our investor community, so the people who read our content actively and engage in discussions on our forum, we have over 70,000 members. We have over 400 listed company clients in the Nordics and over 200 in Sweden. And at this point, if you hadn't heard about us, you might wonder why. We serve quite a big part of the Swedish companies who have produced content on them. And like I mentioned, we're also a listed company ourselves. So as a company, Inderes, we started from the research business, and we were building that in Finland. And then a couple of years ago, we started diversifying into other investor relations businesses. So including investor relations events like quarterly earnings webcasts. We also do AGMs, so årsstämmor. We can do everything for the company. And then we also provide the software for investor relations website and share price graphs for the companies. And now, since last 1.5 years, we've been active in growing in Sweden as well and in the Nordics overall. And you see growth there in the chart, but I must say we've done acquisitions as well. That's not all organic. I'm an analyst, I can never not flag that. So we've also used acquisitions to grow. And in equity research, we have over 140 clients, so 140 companies in the Nordics that we cover with our equity research. We have over 300 listed companies as customers for IR events. We have over 100 companies as customers for our annual general meetings or stämma, and then over 40 customers for IR software. And our business combines people who are professionals, so there's a certain expert business aspect to it. We combine it with our platform where we distribute the information and content we create to investors. So we have technology in the mix. And then we use our own platform as an investor media. So I think in Finland, we are one of the largest financial medias actually already. And down there, you also see the logos that we have in this business. So Financial Hearings has been part of us for around a year now. And through them, we have actually been very active in the Swedish market now as well. And since we're in Sweden, we talk about companies listed in Stockholm. So we are already covering quite a few companies in Stockholm. So I think on Monday we started coverage on Hennes och Mauritz, H&M. We cover Nibe, we cover Nordea, Media Games and Invest, Starbreeze, NUAB. And NUAB is a bit of a nuance. They are saying they might switch to Stockholm where they're listed, but right now they're still in Finland, but I figured I can put it here. And then, of course, Sampo we cover and Telia as well. And two things I want you to remember about Inderes. So 2 websites, Inderes.se, that is, maybe I'll call it a free Bloomberg of sorts. So it's your information service where you can come and get information about companies you consider investing in. So there's the research, there's the webcasts about where the company management tells how they're doing. And then there's the forum, which is where you can talk to us analysts and ask us questions about this company. Ask about things, why did you write this in your research report? And since we're now also in the studio, I want to highlight something. So this studio is part of our business. So we organize capital markets days in this space. So companies come here and have their investors come and they can have their webcasts in here. This studio is operated by my colleagues. So that is also done by Inderes Group. People who are watching remotely, you're watching this on a web player that is developed by our team in-house. So we are going quite broad overall in the investor relations space and do quite a bit over here. All right. So that was Inderes in brief.